Hey guys, welcome back to Overlanding Dreamers. I'm Terry. So I told everybody we'd give an update on our marathon border crossing day. It was quite the ordeal. So we left out early from El Salvador from a campsite about an hour away. Got to the border, stamped out of Honduras, out of El Salvador. Sorry, we stamped out of El Salvador. And suspended our tip, went into Honduras, got our tip, stamped in, drove all the way across Honduras. Honduras took a while because their power was out, so it took like 4 hours there, probably about 4 hours, and but their power was out, so they had to go across the street or something. So we waited around for them for quite a while. And then we drove all the way across Honduras, stamped out of Honduras, suspended our tip for Honduras, then stamped into Nicaragua. Then customs come out to search the truck, and they asked me if we had a drone. I told them I did, but I lost it in Belize. So the only thing I had left was 2 batteries and the remote control. And so instead of searching the truck, they decided, we're going to stick them through the x-ray. So they stuck us through the x-ray. That was over an hour ordeal there. Going just through the x-ray and then waiting for them to look at it. Then they come to the truck and was looking at the x-ray, wanting to see this, wanting to see that. Couldn't find anything, of course, because I don't have the drone. It's in a cave in Belize somewhere. And so they continued to search. Then other people came. So there ended up being about 5 guys over here searching through the truck, searching through our stuff. I showed them the emails of where I had contacted DJI about the flyaway and getting a new drone ordered that I can get when I get back to the US. And they still was not believing that we didn't have a drone. So they said, they saw my DVOS light, and they said, you'll have to leave the batteries to the DJI, to the Mini 3 drone, and the remote control, and wanted me to leave my DVOS light, which they said the lithium battery that's in the DVOS light is not allowed in Nicaragua, which is a lie. Basically, I felt like they were just trying to steal stuff from us, because I've heard of a couple other people that they've left their drones there and they come back through to pick them up and they lost them, supposedly. So they wanted my remote control, they wanted my batteries, they wanted my DVOS light. Then they wanted us to empty out all of our fresh water that we had just filled, which I wasn't going to do that. Then they're like, you need to lay everything out on the ground, empty the whole truck out, lay everything out on the ground. And I told them it's just not worth it to me to go through all that and be laying all our stuff along with our clothes and everything else out on the ground in the dirt. That wasn't going to happen. So we made the decision that we were not going to go any further. So we got in the truck, left, stamped out of Nicaragua, stamped back into Honduras, drove all the way across Honduras, got to the Honduras-El Salvador border, then we stamped out our passports in Honduras, and then the custom guys, it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and then there was one guy there said the custom guy's asleep, which then he started saying, for $60 US, we can get you stamped out on your tip, on our import papers for our truck, and which I knew was ridiculous. That wasn't going to happen. We already had our tip for El Salvador, which had a stamp on it from that morning. So we went back. We just left, went over, didn't pay him any money, and just went back into El Salvador. El Salvador just stamped the tip that we had, and we went on. Didn't have any issues after that. We just went back to the original campsite. So So yeah, we ended up doing El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, then stamping out of Nicaragua, stamping back into Honduras, out of Honduras, back into El Salvador, all in one day.
Got to our campsite like 2 a.m.
So we got to our campsite, as Amy was saying, we got to our campsite at 2 a.m. We've driven in the dark many times at night. We've had no issues at all. There's not been any animals on the road. You just drive the speed limit, don't go flying, and you're fine. We've had no issues driving at night. We've driven at night in Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and Mexico, and we have never had any issues here. That may be different in Baja, but as far as mainland Mexico and Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, we've had absolutely no issues, and we've talked with tons of local people, made tons of friends that we talk to all the time now, and we've had no issues with anybody, and driving at night, no issues at all. Most of the time, they just brush us off, and even if there is a checkpoint, they're standing over there doing nothing. They're not stopping you. You're just driving right by them. So we've had no issues. I know people in the past have, but we have not in any of the countries. And we've driven at night in all of them. So stay tuned, guys. Like, subscribe, and share our channels with your friends. We greatly appreciate all the love that you guys give us. And take care.